Shabbat shalom, family. Shabbat shalom. So, we're going to talk about, more responses from the boycott and something Donald Trump recently did on the same day of the boycott. We're going to talk about that too. So, y'all, I'm going to play some new music you never heard before, and then we will get into it. All right. All right. So this one is called Yah's Whisper. I hope you like it.
Oh, I've been running, chasing dreams in the night, trying to find peace in all the wrong lights. Talk to the wind, but it ain't talk back. I heard a voice off the low saying, come back. Every time I drift, you pull me near, not with thunder, but a whisper in my ear. In the stillness, you speak so clear, telling me love ain't far, you right here. And I've been searching outside when you've been within all this time. Don't need no signs in the sky, your whisper calms my mind. It's God's whisper, pulling me home again. In the silence, that's where you begin. No shouting, no thunder or flame, just love calling out my name. Whisper soft like a lover's touch, telling me I'm loved so much. A still small voice in the night, bringing my soul to life. I try to stand tall on my own, build castles out of pride made of stone, but they crumbled in the wind and the rain. Still you stayed, whispering my name. Didn't need to shout, didn't need to chase, you just waited with that quiet grace. Now I hear you in the hush of the tree saying let go, come rest in me. And I can feel you so close, in the rhythm of breath. I know you ain't loud, but you're strong, been with me all along. It's yes, whisper me home again. In the silence, that's where you begin. No shouting, no thunder or flame, just love calling out my name. Yes, whisper, soft like a lover's touch, telling me I'm loved so much. A still small voice in the night, bringing my soul to life. I thought you moved in mighty ways, but you move me with gentle praise. A wordless song, a sacred sigh. You whisper truth I can't deny. Yes, whisper, pulling me home again. In the silence, that's where you begin. No shouting, no thunder or flame, just love calling out my name. Yes, whisper, soft like a lover's touch, telling me I'm loved so much. A still small voice in the night, bringing my soul to life.
All right, y'all. This will be available on my music list. If you don't know how to access it, just go to my music playlist. It will be in there after we're done with the live stream. Okay, y'all. So we're going to talk about what Donald Trump did on the same day the boycott went into effect. So I'm going to share my screen so you can see all of the nations that he slapped tariffs on over in Africa. He put tariffs on 22 different nations on the continent. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing this and I'm going to share this article. Okay, because you know what Donald Trump has been talking. Oh, these countries are not pulling their weight and America's being cheated. And you know all the stuff he's been saying the entire time in regards to the tariffs. And yes, because of the tariffs going into effect again, yes, the markets were down yesterday. So let's look at this list that Donald Trump hit these African countries with these tariffs. So he did Algeria, 30% tariffs, Libya, 30% tariff, South Africa, 30% tariff, Tunisia, 25% tariff, Angola, 15%, Botswana, 15%, Cameroon, 15%, Chad, 15%, Cote d'Ivoire, which used to be called Ivory Coast, 15%, DRC, which we know is the Congo, 15%, Equatorial Guinea, 15%, Ghana, 15%, Lesotho, 15%, Madagascar, 15%, Malawi, 15%, Mauritius, 15%, Mozambique, 15%, Namibia, 15%, Nigeria, 15%, Uganda, 15%, Zambia, 15%, and Zimbabwe, 15%. So that all went into effect on the 1st of August. So I know Africa was trying to avoid these tariffs, but Donald Trump is sparing no one when it comes down to these tariffs. So 22 nations on the continent of Africa was hit with tariffs. All right. So now I'm going to stop sharing my screen and we're going to get into some of the video responses that were on TikTok. All right. Share my screen again. Okay. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you. And many of these African nations were trying to avoid these tariffs because, I mean, these nations don't have a lot of money. Actually, they should have more money than everybody in the world because of all the resources that are there. But because the resources are being literally stolen by everyone, they're not making the money that they should have. So, yeah, this is going to hurt them. Having any kind of tariffs, increase by the US is going to hurt them, and that's the thing about Africa. Yeah, you got all the resources, but you don't have all the wealth. Those nations don't have all the wealth. And that is your problem over there. Either Europeans and the Asians got your wealth. And in some cases, even the Arabs, they got your wealth. And y'all are sitting on land struggling. Your people are struggling. I just don't understand how starvation can be in a land that got gold, platinum, diamonds, rubies, oil. Y'all got everything, cobalt. and y'all got famines going on? How is that even possible with all of the resources? And it just goes to show you they have the resources, but they don't own and dominate their own resources. See, if they were doing that, they could tell Donald Trump and his tariffs to shove it, but they're not in a position to do that. That's why whatever Donald Trump throws on them, they just got to take it. But if they were in control of that continent, they could tell somebody like Donald Trump to go to hell. But they can't. And that right there tells you how bad politics and all the corruption has been over in Africa. Okay, y'all, let's get started on these videos, and I'll be right back with more commentary. Let's see. Elaine Early, thank you so much for the new channel membership. Thank you for your support for my channel. Oh,
y'all right here, I want y'all to see who is in charge of foundational Black American reparations at the African Union. You probably never heard of her before, have you? Me neither. No, at all. Have never seen this individual. But this is the individual that has been granted the powers as the 6th region of the African Union to oversee our money. You damn right. Family, look at this right here, okay? H.E. Dr. Queen Blessing Atua, chair of the African Union 6th region in the USA. Did any of y'all sign up for her to be a representative? We already have people who always seem to be our fake representatives who are American. This woman is a Nigerian. This is a Nigerian woman who's been running around here as your representative, fam. And I'm not talking about your district. I'm not talking about your town. I'm not talking about your committee. I'm saying she's representing all of us. So to make it clear and plain in my proletarian workers language, fam, this woman is running around here being the boss and the chairwoman of reparations in a country in which she did not even have any parts of. As a matter of fact, Nigeria wasn't even a country. The main person who put all this together was exactly that right there, Barack Obama. Yes, Barack Obama was the individual that gave this lady a Lifetime Achievement Award. And then you got to ask yourself, a Lifetime Achievement Award for what? This woman ended up getting a Lifetime Achievement Award so she could be the main one that they put in position to steal our reparations. And about the same exact time that all of this was starting to occur, family, was the same exact time that reparations movement, the reparations generation started to take off. Yep. So around the same time that we started really getting it popping in these streets when it came to reparations is the same exact time this woman gets this award from Barack Obama, because two tethers of a feather don't flock together. I want you to think about every tether, family, and then I want you to think about how they're all in one giant cahoots to work with one another. I'm talking about the damn Uber driver all the way down to Kamala Harris or Barack Obama. She was put in a position, and I'm going to show you, fam. I'm talking about she has positions with the UN. She has positions with the African Union. And do you guys know that she authored, check this out. It blew my mind when I seen it, fam. I told y'all, #1 activist. I'm going to take this to a whole nother maximum. Do you guys know that she authored a law in the state of Georgia to help immigrants? Yes, African immigrants. Now, I want you to rewind time to a year ago. A year ago when we were out here highlighting all of these Africans that were being dropped off in Atlanta. And did you guys all see the poll that just came out? It really wasn't a poll. It was some statistics that say Atlanta is no longer the Black Mecca. And they talk about how so many migrants are there. A lot of those migrants are Africans and Haitians and Jamaicans. Well, guess what, y'all? This woman authored the bill that ended up getting pushed through all by Democrats to allow these people to come in. I got receipts on you, Miss Tua. Matter of fact, there go the goddamn bill right there. Oh, don't think I ain't got the receipts.
So you mean to tell me that me as a Black American, we jealous of Africans because y'all starting businesses here in the United States? That don't make sense. Y'all too busy selling each other out. Why would I be jealous of that? Why would I be jealous of a group of people who literally have their own continent but run in every other direction but their own? Why would I be jealous of a group of people who can open a business anywhere but Africa? Why would I be jealous of a group of people who might not know the value of their own dollar in their own country, but I guarantee you they can tell you how much USD is worth compared to a Great British Pound or a Euro or anything else. Y'all learn everybody else's language. I don't ever see y'all speaking Swahili. I don't ever see y'all wearing y'all clothes nowhere. All I see is y'all integrating yourself in everybody else's culture. You got Africans going to China speaking Chinese, but I guarantee you, I ain't never met a Chinese person speaking Swahili. You got Africans knowing how to speak Spanish. Y'all can speak English. Y'all can speak Japanese. Everything. Y'all literally absorb and assimilate to all these other people's culture. We're talking about modern culture. I'm not talking about your great ancestors from 500 years ago that was once speaking a Chinese language. We're talking about right now. Right now, y'all literally running in all directions trying to make money. Why would I be jealous of that? Our ancestors didn't fuck with y'all. Why would we associate to the same people that sold our ancestors here in the first place? I don't understand that. Y'all might be talking about division now. Y'all decided to divide us when y'all shipped us over here because y'all wanted some sugar. Because y'all needed some forks and some spoons and some knives, and y'all decided to sell your own people out just so that you can have little commodities. Y'all separated from us. I don't associate myself with African. I'm not African, bro. I would never sell my sister for a bottle of water. I don't do shit like that. We don't do shit like that over here. We're not over here bleaching our fucking skin. We don't do stuff like that. Y'all a different group of people, bro. FBAs, we are the chosen ones, bro. We have our own lineage. We have our own history. We have our own path to go. Nobody else got a history the same way we do. FBAs, we were really a group that was not meant to survive, bro. But somehow, some way, we made it through all that shit and we set the fucking tone. Not you.
And let me talk about this shit here too. Africans, do y'all think that Black Americans are stupid? Do y'all think that we're dumb? Because I think that y'all think that we're dumb. I done seen a lot of posts in regard to the boycott talking about some boycotting African businesses when y'all are African. Ha ha ha. Bitch, didn't y'all boycott an African business, your country, when you came here and refused to go the fuck home? So y'all motherfuckers can boycott Nigeria, Liberia, Ghana, all them other 51 countries that are here in the U.S. and refuse to go the fuck back. But I can't boycott a braid shop. You didn't like the way they do business. You didn't like the way that they provided a lack of opportunity for y'all to succeed. You didn't like the way that they left y'all goddamn impoverished and motherfucking hungry. You didn't like the way that they fucking treated you and shit. We may be hungry, but we can manage our hunger. Them motherfuckers ain't give a good goddamn about y'all asses being African when they would, and them being African when they was taking that goddamn foreign aid, billions of dollars over decades, and still refusing to build infrastructure there. They didn't give a fuck about you being African and them being African when they was sitting up there leaving 70% of the population in no man's land with people defecating in the streets. Okay? They received all kinds. Y'all should have had super fucking infrastructure by now. But y'all didn't. The motherfuckers was pocketing that shit, pushing Rolls Royces and whatnot, knowing that half the damn population was dying off from illnesses. Did they care that you was African while they was African when they was allowing all of these European countries and even American companies to come over there and inject y'all with illnesses and then test out vaccines on y'all ass? Did they care about y'all being African when they was doing that shit? And we know that y'all don't care about folk being African and you being African, because if Africans cared about other Africans, then our ancestors would have never ended up in the Americas. They would have never ended up in the UK. They would have never ended up in the Caribbeans if Africans cared about other fucking Africans. It seems to me that the only time y'all want us to care about being African is when we hopping on y'all ass and holding y'all ass accountable, because y'all not used to that shit, right? Because instead of y'all holding y'all fuck ass governments accountable, you instead decided to go to other fucking countries and fight with their government and fight with their people. The work should have started at home. In a whole, have a good day. Play where you lay. Don't play with us.
Good evening, family. Since this morning, I've had a bit of a change of heart. I guess we will be boycotting African businesses on August the 1st. They've been talking mucho smack on the app. And you know what? I guess they're going to have to learn. Ask Target, ask Walmart, ask anybody who came against Black Americans. When we unite, we know what we're doing. So, okay, you want to talk the way you're talking and be disrespectful and not know how come you have benefits, period, in this country? It's because of Black Americans. If you don't know that, do your damn homework before you get here. And what I'm telling you is that, yes, I'm all down for not only taking that money and redirecting it back to the Black community, but making sure that we don't spend any with you. I'm pissed. You guys are disrespectful. You come over here, you don't know nothing. And so I've changed my mind. Yes, we are boycotting you come August the 1st. And I'm going to be first in line. There are many, many places in the neighborhood that you can get the services that you used to utilize from them completed. So yeah, I'm pissed. I'm telling you about it. Get your act together. Learn some respect. Learn the reason why you're even in this country and who made it possible for you. Until you can do that and put respect on Black Americans' name, we don't got nothing for you. And as we unite again, we've stayed united since the election. You will unite for every cause that we need. Right now, we need to unite and redirect our dollars away from African businesses back to Black businesses exclusively. Starting to get to be the second half of the year. Not only do we have to fight this regime, but we have to fight all these immigrants that come over here and disrespect us as well. I'm pissed. And yes, August 1st is the date. All right, family, listen. Good night. I had to get that off too.
This is not a Pan-African flag. Somebody's live right now trying to misconstrue what the Black American Heritage flag is. And this is why people of the coon class, the tether class, gets kicked out of our community. We don't want you here because you won't let us claim our own heritage. All right. And on August 1st, make sure you hit me up. I'm going to be promoting all Black businesses, Black American Solon FBA businesses, the whole month of August. Since people want to be cute on the internet and play with our name and play with my people, I'll be sure to use my platform to promote businesses. If you're braiding, if you have like a soul food restaurant, because y'all don't know how to respect anybody, bro. It's all about you, and y'all some selfish individuals. And I'm not just talking about the demographic of people that we're boycotting. I'm talking about people of our lineage, people that just agents of chaos. You just want to see stuff burn, and we're not going to let that happen, period.
Nation initiates national boycott of African businesses in the African Union. Published by the Freedmen Reparations Fund Trust, www.freedmennation.org. This is not personal, it is jurisdictional. Freedmen Nation, governed by the Freedmen Reparations Fund Trust, has officially launched a national boycott of African-identified businesses operating within the United States, as well as a public disassociation from the African Union and all of its affiliated initiatives. This declaration marks a critical inflection point in our enforcement of cultural governance, symbolic jurisdiction, and economic alignment. Why this boycott is necessary? For far too long, external institutions, particularly those aligned with African-based governments and commercial entities, have sought to insert themselves into reparative and identity-based frameworks that belong exclusively to the freedmen class. These unauthorized intrusions include false claims of representational authority in U.S.-based reparations forums, unlawful blending of distinct classes for symbolic and financial benefit, misappropriation of freedmen-specific naming systems, history, and legal standing. Freedmen Nation does not operate under symbolic unity or shared ancestral generalizations. We are not a global or transnational identity. We are a legally defined status class, comprised of those emancipated from U.S. chattel slavery and governed by federal obligations including freedmen treaties, domestic trust claims, and verified harms. This boycott is not about heritage. It is about standing. It is about law. It is about enforcement. Violations by the African Union. The African Union has repeatedly positioned itself as a representative voice for freedmen in global reparations discourse, without verification, consent, or lawful jurisdiction. These misrepresentations amount to unauthorized cultural governance claims, diplomatic overreach in matters of domestic U.S. legal classifications, exploitation of the freedmen name, and protected identity frameworks. These actions are in direct violation of declarations issued by the Freedmen Reparations Fund Trust, which formally protects the freedmen class and prohibits the blending of distinct legal statuses under unauthorized banners. Effective immediately, boycott terms. Freedmen Nation is taking the following actions: severing all commercial ties with African-identified businesses operating in the U.S. that misclassify or exploit the freedmen status, rejecting all representational claims made by the African Union regarding reparations, cultural governance, or jurisdiction over the freedmen class, issuing enforcement notices and documentation to any institution or actor infringing on the Trust's protected governance frameworks. What this means for our community. 1. Economic disengagement. Verified freedmen, donors, and aligned institutions will no longer patronize or financially support businesses that erase, dilute, or misclassify our status. 2. Redirected capital flow. The Trust will shift its donor and development pipelines to verified freedmen-owned businesses and legally authorized institutions operating within our compliance frameworks. 3. Public enforcement trail. Each boycott action and enforcement step will be logged in public records, ensuring transparency and accountability as we secure our jurisdictional and economic boundaries. Moving forward. This is not a symbolic action. It is a jurisdictional boundary backed by declarations, governance authority, and fiduciary enforcement. Partnership and collaboration are still possible, but only through lawful recognition of the freedmen status and governance. This includes executed trust acknowledgement agreements, licensing under declaration-based frameworks, verified compliance with our cultural, financial, and symbolic protocols. Freedmen are not a generic category. We are not an open source identity. We are a defined legal class. That class is no longer available for misrepresentation, dilution, or unauthorized affiliation. The boycott is active. The enforcement is ongoing. The boundary is enforced.
So I've been seeing a lot of videos, want to know why is the August 1st boycott of African businesses happening. So I've prepared a few snippets for you to watch. Follow along.
You Black Americans, you feel so entitled. Over what?
The next right.
Lazy ass motherfuckers.
Yes, you guys don't like Black Americans at all. You guys just say bad things about them. They're criminals. They're from slavery. They are not from Africa. They don't know their home. Oh,
I don't think Africans should be calling themselves Black. We have the most genetic diversity in the African continent, and we're reducing it to a skin color. That's a mockery of us as an African peoples.
White people are not the problem in America. There is a narrative that is constantly attacking white people in America as if anyone born today enslaved anyone born today. It did it like nobody that's white today enslaved you.
They cannot walk away and pass the liquor store. That when the cop pull all over, we don't have to stop fighting. I have my First Amendment right.
What do y'all feel like y'all should do in order to know where you guys come from? Are you guys doing the DNA?
We're telling you. No, we're telling you
I
we're
know,
from
tell me.
America.
So you are still enforcing us to have to prove to you that we're Black enough or we're African enough. We don't feel like we need to do that.
Well, then that's disrespectful.
How is that disrespectful?
Because you don't even want to try.
Y'all not even taking the time to talk to us without criticizing us. We're weak, we're lazy, we don't fuck with them.
The fact that you didn't want to do the DNA test, the fact that you didn't want to do this is showing how ignorant you are. That's what we
I'm
see
ignorant because of that?
No, that's
you sound ignorant.
Why the boycott is happening? I hope all those preceding videos answered your question.
Since we boycotting, add them Vietnamese nail shops to the list. Add them to the list. We could work towards the beauty supplies later, but for now, let's add the nail shops to the list because it's really gotten out of hand. And there's been many videos that I've seen where they're being disrespectful, not providing good service. I've experienced it myself. I never had an issue with like an African braid shop though. But as far as the Vietnamese nail shops, add them right onto the list. They don't deserve us. They never cared. They never cared about us. They don't give a damn about us. So yeah, since we on our boycott shit, let's go ahead and add them. Let's keep it consistent across the board.
Americans are boycotting African businesses, and I'm going to be the first to say we should have did this a long ass time ago. But seeing as though there are a lot of people who are confused as to why we are boycotting African businesses, I'm going to give you guys a story time. And it's going to be an example of why these Africans are going to get their businesses the fuck up off of our land. I go to a neighborhood corner store, a convenience store in my neighborhood, owned by, I'm assuming, the African who tried me. I was simply just going to use the restroom. There were no signs nowhere inside of the store that established that this bathroom was not useful for the public. There were no signs inside of this business that stated the bathroom was for customers only. So when I walked inside of the business, he said hi to me, an African man. I didn't speak. I go in the bathroom and lo and behold, the lights don't even work. And what's so funny is the whole time I'm in there wiping my ass, trying to figure out why the fuck there's no lights, I'm thinking about a whole TikTok to do, because y'all niggas love coming to America trying to open up some business, but then we'll treat the business like you back in Africa. Why is there no fucking AC? And y'all, it was hot as hell in the goddamn store. He got big ass fucking industrial fans cooling off the shit when all you gotta do is just get the fucking AC unit fixed. You're in America. So I turn on my flash so that I can wipe my ass and see what the fuck I got going on. And it just so happens I'm on my period. Wow, had I known or had the lights been on, I probably would have had a different attitude. But because I'm using the bathroom in the dark at a convenience store in my neighborhood, the only thing I can think about is, damn, my period is on. So now I gotta go and see what the fuck I need to do to take care of myself. Mind you, my period just came on. I don't got a pad on. I don't got shit. I leave out the bathroom, beeline straight to my vehicle so that I can take care of myself. And he's continuously trying to speak to me. So I keep fucking moving. I don't even hear you at this point. Do you know that I walked outside of that business and this African man not only followed me, not only was he yelling at me, but then he grabs my fucking arm, turns me around and said, "Who the fuck do you think you are?" No, excuse me, sir. Who the fuck do you think that you are? Now, luckily, there were a couple of men there, indigenous men. And so when he saw them, his whole entire aura immediately shut the fuck down and then had the nerve to say he was upset because I didn't speak. In a convenience store. I didn't walk into your house, bitch. I walked into a convenience store. Are you serious? And then these African bitches got the nerve to say that they want us to give them their men back? We don't want them. If you can't be cool, calm, and collected when a woman does not speak, although you spoke to her, I don't want you, bitch.
It's now come out that the CIA has paid that Black American to start the African boycott. Do you really believe that? This boycott did not start from plants from the CIA at all. The lady started the boycott because y'all provide bad customer service in your African braiding shop. Y'all arguing with the people that's coming in here spending money. Y'all fighting amongst each other. There's plenty of videos on TikTok for y'all to see and do your own research. So why are we trying to come up with all these different reasons as to why this African boycott is starting? This lady right here took the TikTok to apologize for her employees' horrible behavior. And that's the right way to go. Look at yourself, see what y'all did wrong, and hold yourself accountable and see how you can fix it. As a business owner, I'm tired of talking about that. Trust me, we don't want beef with y'all. We want everything to be like it was. We wasn't worrying about y'all. We see y'all and we like, hey, hello. All the conspiracy theorists, y'all can go on and hang that. Like I said before, if you receive bad service somewhere, you won't go there again. What's the issue?
Well, y'all, I'm just showing you some of the videos that were posted out there on TikTok. So the bottom line is how this whole thing will go, time will tell. Time will tell over the coming weeks what will happen and how it is or is not impacting the businesses out there, period. You know, but one thing I notice in the videos of people that are opposing the boycott, I noticed they're all conveniently leaving out the disrespect our people have been receiving. All they'll say things like, "Oh, you boycotting? That's silly. That's silly." Okay, well, why are you skipping over the root cause of why the boycott is happening in the first place? And I notice every single one of those videos lacks substance or any kind of context to why this is happening in the first place. And if you are willing to skip over that, then you're not interested in resolving anything. How can you say you're interested in resolving something and you're completely skipping over the whole root cause of why it's happening in the first place? So that right there says a lot. It says a lot. Mhm. I know some people have said it's been pure hell working with them on their jobs. They working around these people every day, and they talk about how nasty they are on the jobs. Now, I've had experience working with Africans on places of employment, but I noticed they tend to shut down around us, but they'll have their mouth open all day long to a white person. I did notice that about them in the place of business that I worked in. When it came down to us, they would walk past us like wallpaper. But when it came down to that white man or white woman, oh, they were all up in their face. They were just having a good time rolling with them in the office. And every and every now and then things went back, went wrong for them too. See, there I noticed one thing about them, one thing about us, we have been around these people for hundreds of years. And we know when to tune on to them and tune them out. And we know they're full of crap. I noticed they are way, way more trusting with them than we are. Way more trusting. Yeah. Yeah, they definitely are bigger ass kissers than we are. That's what I do notice about the Africans. When it comes down to white people, Africans are big, big ass kissers. You got your lips all over their ass. See, we're more inclined to tell these people to go to hell. Y'all more inclined to kiss ass and try to get along even when you're being treated bad. Nah, that ain't the name of the game for us. That's the name of the game for y'all. Mhm. Or you notice another thing about them on the job. When someone white come along, they start acting different. They turn it on and turn it off. And with us, we gonna just be ourselves. We're gonna be ourselves. We don't care, love it or leave it, but we're gonna be ourselves. Them, they know how to turn it on and off in front of them folks. And it's because they're scared of them. See, when you're scared of somebody, that's why you change your demeanor when you're around them because you're really scared. And you're not the only ones to do that. Africans ain't the only ones to do them. Latinos do the same shit too. And so do the Asians. If you got to become a whole different person around these folks, you do that because you're scared of them. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, and that's why if you notice the average one that comes to this country, they're in full agreements of white supremacy, if you notice that. They'll sit and repeat everything they heard off of white person. Y'all lazy, y'all this, y'all that, y'all don't do this, y'all don't. I said, you're just saying all the same thing that white people say. Why don't you look into the origins of where we start getting called lazy? It's actually historic. It's actually in the history. They start calling us lazy because we would no longer work for them for free. And y'all are walking around here using a talking point and you don't even know where the fuck it came from. Y'all don't even know where it came from. And one thing, I'm glad these white farmers are crying all over videos because now you're getting a glimpse of who's really lazy up in here. And I said this before, them mofos are sitting around watching their crops rot instead of getting out there and doing the work and saving their crops. They're all my crop is worth 7 million. My crop is worth 2 million. Then get out there and save it. Get out there and save those multi-million-dollar crops then. But they're not doing that. They're just sitting back and watching their crops rot in the ground. So who is the real lazy one? Or they're on video talking about my livestock is not being tended to. Well, you're right there with them damn animals. Why don't you get your ass outside and take care of your damn animals? Okay, so you won't take care of the animals and you won't take care of the crop? No, 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 no. See, we don't observe this and not give them pushback the next time they start screaming lazy. This is where we start throwing these examples up in their faces and saying, who's the real lazy one up in here? You won't even do your own work. You'll sit there and watch your whole life fall apart and you won't lift a finger. Who's the real lazy one? Shoot, Donald Trump is trying to enforce that Project 2025 and get kids out there. Kids to pick that stuff. No, that's not what kids should be doing. Kids need to be focused on being children and getting their education. I don't believe these kids need to be out on these farms picking anything. But that's what they're in the process of doing, so the kids will be out there. This ain't no 19. That's what they did back in my grandfather's time. The kids were taken out of school to work because the parents weren't making hardly no money, so the kids had to go to work. Here it is, 2025, and they trying to make the situation like that again. Absolutely ridiculous. But hey, that's on them. I when I see them on video, y'all, I have yet to see one I feel sorry for. And you have to understand the farmers in America overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump. And they knew damn well when they went and voted for Donald Trump, they had all of those undocumented workers on their farms. So now you're crying about losing your workers. You voted to get rid of your workers. You voted for that. And in their minds, y'all, they think anybody dark should be doing all the work. They ain't getting their asses out. One thing I've learned in this whole thing, thank you, Donald Trump, because these folks, they don't believe in doing no manual labor, y'all. They seriously believe we should be doing it or some Latino should be doing it, but their asses don't want to do it at all. I'm glad. It's a lot of things being revealed, and we need to point these things out, especially when the word lazy comes up again. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude, and let me just say my thank yous. Elaine Early, thank you for becoming a new channel member. Antithesis, Alchia, Alchia supporting. And Jeffrey Massey, thank you for the super sticker. And thank you for your support for my channel. Man, I tell you what, this is going to be an interesting summer, y'all. This is going to be a very, very interesting summer. And I can't wait to see what it's going to look like when we get to the end of this year. Are we still going to be boycotting? Because I know a lot of people are saying their boycott is permanent. But for me, it's not even a boycott because I was not really going into their places of businesses in the first place. There are, like around me, there is an African market, but it's on the other side of town, and I really don't go over there. And there's another store around the corner, but I don't go in their stores. I don't need nothing from their store. So I don't go in there. But there are some markets around me. Now, I never been in one of the stores, but I do know somebody that went in there and they said the African man in there was rude. So they don't go in there no more. Now, I never went in there in the first place. To me, the I've been by there and just walking past the store looks like garbage. It really is not physically appealing. Let me just put it that way. It's not physically appealing when you look in there. The shop, there's shops that look way better and way cleaner than the shop this man got. But I mean, he can't be rude to me because I don't go in there in the first place. But yeah, I was watching, and maybe I'll show you the video the next time. I was watching some videos, and I might put these videos together, and they were talking about how bad the customer service is in these African shops. And I started pulling up the videos, and people were talking about their experiences, even in hair shops. And I actually came across a video of two women that worked as braiders in these in this one particular African hair shop. Do you know they got into a big argument, yelling back and forth at each other while braiding customers' hair? And it got so uncomfortable that the owner came out and she started yelling at these women. And particularly one of the women, she was really going in on her. And I was like, why are y'all doing this in a place of business? Why are y'all having open arguments and fights? These women were speaking in their language, y'all, calling each other broke. And the fight got intense. Now, these are people that work at your shop, and this is what they're doing in front of the customers. That is so damn tacky. Yeah, it's very unprofessional. I can see why people are complaining about their treatment in those places. And there was a few other videos where some of our women got into it with some of the women that worked in the African shop. And one woman, the fight got physical. This woman was trying to get her out, and she was trying to get her hair done, and these African women accused her son, who was with her, of doing something. And she was like, he was sitting here the whole time. They actually got into a physical fight. Physical. I was like, this is outrageous. I didn't know they were that damn nasty up in those braid shops. I don't go in there. I don't go in there, and I have zero intentions on going in there. And one of the reasons why I never got my hair braided by them, the few people I know that went to get their hair braided in these African shops, I think they braid way too tight. And virtually every single one lost all of their hair around their temples. I haven't seen one that didn't. And I said, "Do you realize you should not be braiding that? That hair is very sensitive around your temples. You can't braid that tight. You're gonna lose your hair." And that's exactly what happened to every single one. I haven't met one that did not happen to. All their edges are gone going into them African braid shops. Nobody got edges. Yeah, they braid the edges way too tight to the point where they come out. Yeah, that's gonna come out. Yeah, that's gonna come out. You can't braid that hair tight. Mhm. Yeah. Queen Mom, you said you're doing it by design. You know what? I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. You're probably right. Mhm. And let me tell you something, even the African women I worked with that had their hair braided, they all had receded hairlines. Every single one had a receded because you braiding that shit too tight. Your hair around your edges cannot be braided tight because it's going to come out. That hair is very sensitive. Mhm. Yeah, I mean, well, there's a lot of shops of our women braiding hair. You know, they're not the only ones that braid hair up in here. Let's be real. We had our own shops that braid hair for years. Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I mostly do my own hair, and that's probably why I got hair is because I do my own hair. I rarely go into a shop, you know? I just prefer to do my own and, just doing my own and using my products before they became my products. I was using the hair oil. It always kept me maintaining and retaining my hair, and I would get length, and I still do. I still do. Mhm. But yeah, I mean, when I watched those videos, I was shocked at the way those women talk to people. Yeah, I guess that's how they talk to each other back home in Africa. And it just don't go over so well over here. I did not know they were that damn rude. And I did not know that they have open fights with each other up in those stores and those businesses. They fight all out in the open. That's why where do you get off complaining about us and y'all do stuff like that in your places of business? Y'all have open fights up in your business around a room full of customers. Where do you get off bitching and complaining about us when y'all do stuff like that? And then you talking about we're ghetto. Well, I tell you what, I'd rather be around them ghetto people than be hosed up in a business with people fighting the way y'all do. Give me the ghetto any day. That's what I say. Give me the damn ghetto any day. So, y'all, I have a nice afro still. Honey, my hair is below bra strap. Okay. I got so much damn hair, I can't even pick out an afro because it's way down my back. I'll match you toe to toe with hair. I got some damn good hair, natural flowing hair down my back. I bet you yours ain't a fraction as nice as mine. I bet you couldn't come close to the quality of hair I have. So, y'all, I will see you on the next video, which is at 1:45. Shalom, family.